Every day I see lots of teens in my school wandering around with phones in their hands at recess. Sometimes they'll be in a group or looking at the latest trending video on TikTok, or sometimes they're in their own little digital world and they don't interact with the other kids around them at all. And I can't even tell you the number of times I've had to confiscate phones in class, but I would say that at least half the students seem to have limits put on their phone used by their parents. This is great for teachers because it's one battle we'd rather not have to deal with every single day. There's also research that backs me up on this. According to Pew Research, just over half the parents, 57%, limit the amount of screen time their teen is allowed, including when and where, with at least 43% who don't limit it at all. I know that many parents have conversations with their kids about what and what isn't allowed when it comes to internet browsing, but kids will be kids and they don't always listen to their parents. So what are the main do's and don'ts when it comes to letting your child browse the internet? This can help you monitor your child's browsing. You can filter out any unwanted websites or explicit content or block apps that you don't want them using. You can limit their screen time and set times up for when they can use their devices. This means that during school time, you can block the phone from being used so that they can concentrate on their studies and hang out with their friends. Make sure you're using a web browser that is known for security features, such as Google Chrome, Mozilla Firefox, or Microsoft Edge. There's a reason these browsers are the most popular in the world, and it's partly because of their enhanced security features. A reputable web browser is likely to have built-in security features that can help you protect you from malicious websites, phishing attempts, and other online threats. It will also receive regular updates that address newly discovered vulnerabilities. Many reputable browsers also offer privacy-enhancing features, such as blocking third-party cookies and preventing websites from tracking your child's browsing history. Regularly updating your child's browser and operating systems to ensure that they have the latest security features and patches will stop the majority of advertising pop-ups. If they're using an older version of a browser or operating system, they're more likely to be vulnerable to hacking attempts and have security threats. By keeping their software up to date, you can help protect them from these threats. Installing antivirus or security software on your teen's device is a good habit to keep their device clean from malware and help detect and remove any malware they have accidentally come across. Luckily, Android phones, iPads and iPhones all have antivirus softwares built into them. But if your child uses a computer, laptop or other devices for the internet, then using the antivirus software is important for several reasons. Antivirus software is designed to detect and prevent the installation of malware, such as viruses, worms, trojans and other malicious softwares. By running antivirus softwares, you can protect your teen's computer from these types of threats. Phishing is a tactic used by scammers to steal personal information by tricking you into clicking on a link or entering information into a fake website. Let your child know to be cautious and unsolicited emails or messages that ask for personal information, and to always verify the authenticity of a website before entering any sensitive information like passwords. Also, teach your kids to only download files or software from reputable sources, and to be sure to scan any downloads from viruses or malware before running them on their computers. I know that many parents feel like they're breaching their child's privacy by monitoring them online, mainly because teenagers are hard to wire to be independent, but this isn't the same as reading their journals without permission. You wouldn't allow your child to bring home inappropriate magazines, watch age-restricted TV shows, be bullied or bully others into your home, or have strangers in their room alone with them, so why would you allow them to have access to all those things simply because it's all in one place, on their devices, and it's now digital? The internet can be a dangerous place, and it's important to be aware of the types of content and people that your child is interacting with. By monitoring their online activity, you can help protect them from potential predators, cyberbullying, and exposure to inappropriate content. It can also be a valuable learning tool. You can use the information you gather to teach them an online safety, responsible digital citizen, and how to use the internet in a healthy, productive way. It is also important to remember that monitoring your child's online activity should be done in a way that is respectful of their privacy and autonomy. The goal is not to spy on them, but rather to help them navigate the internet safely and responsibly. By communicating, I don't just mean you just tell them what is and is not expected. Keep an open dialogue with them and open their online experiences. This can help you identify any potential risk or concerns and address them in a timely manner. Letting them know that you're open to talking about it without too much judgment can mean that they will feel comfortable coming to you with any problems in the future. So we've talked a lot about the do's, but what about the don'ts? Well, there are a few of those too. First of all, strong passwords and two-factor authentications can help protect your child's accounts from being hacked. Hackers often use automated software that can quickly guess thousands of password combinations and can attempt to gain access to an account. They may also use programs that try all the words in the dictionary, including common words and phrases, in an attempt to guess a password. Or they may attempt to trick or deceive users into revealing their passwords through phishing attempts or other tactics. If your child is using a strong password, one which is long and includes a combination of letters, numbers, and special characters, is less likely to be guessed by someone, even if they have some information about them. It is important to note that it's also important to teach your child to use different passwords for different accounts. Even with a strong password, if it's used in multiple places, if one account is compromised, it can put all other accounts using the same password at risk. And using a password manager to store their password securely is also a good idea, which you as a parent should have access to as well. We are so used to different types of pop-ups we get online, like the cookies pop-up, that we automatically know which button to click. But kids don't. Sometimes they may be so focused on getting to the web page that they want, they will click anything to get rid of the pop-ups. And sometimes it's not a cookies pop-up, but sometimes it's other types of adverts. So teach them what settings you want them to use for cookies, because that one crop up all the time and recognizing it is key to not confuse it with the other types of pop-ups. Another one is to allow or block notification pop-ups that comes up on many websites. If you don't teach them to use the block button on at least some of the websites, then they will constantly be getting notifications when they may not want to. And as for downloading attachments from emails or messages, teach your child that clicking on attachments is one of the most common ways that malware is spread. It can affect your computer with a virus, give an attacker access to your personal information, or use your device as part of a botnet. For example, an attacker might send them an email that appears to be from a legit company, asking them to download an attachment that contains important information. If they download the attachment and open it, it could contain malware or prompt them to enter sensitive information such as their login credentials. Kids don't really understand the real-world implications or sharing their personal information. Talk to your kids about the importance of not sharing their information online, such as their home address, phone numbers, passwords, or even their real name. Not only can they be used to steal their identity, but it can also be used to stalk or harass them. Also, talk to them about the impact posting certain information online can have on their reputation. For example, if they post something that is controversial or offensive, it can be difficult to remove it from the internet, and it may be seen by people they don't want to see it, like a future employer. The same goes for pictures and videos that they send to people. They need to understand that once they put this information online, they lose control over who has access to it and how it is used. It can be shared, duplicated, or even sold to third parties without their knowledge or consent. As your children become teenagers and move towards adulthood, it becomes increasingly important to talk to them about this. Don't forget, it's not only about your teens sharing their personal photos, it's also about sharing them unsolicited and about pressuring others into sharing photos too. By following these do's and don'ts, hopefully it will help your kids stay safe and have a positive online experience. The internet can be a wonderful place for learning and socialising, but it needs to be treated with caution, especially from a parent's point of view. I'll drop a link in the description so you can take a look at FamiSafe's website to see all the apps has to offer. And I hope you've enjoyed this video. If you know someone who you think would benefit from this video, then please share away. And don't forget to click the thumbs up for us and subscribe for more content. Until next time, it's bye from us all at FamiSafe.